Rein on Hollywood, so the first thing I'm going to be looking into is your team comp. You have a Moira, which is more than enough healing, and you have some recent damage and a Diva, so it's not a bad comp to play Reinhardt with. We are on the attack, and again, the things you're going to be looking to do is take space. Not having a Lucio is a little bit of a problem, but at this rank it shouldn't matter as much. Like, if you're at a much higher rank, Rein struggles without Lucio, but at this rank you should be fine. So things to take into account: you need to get close to the enemy, you need to swing, try to avoid being stunned by McCree. Okay, going forward, this is fine. Jumping is not ideal, but it's okay. Not a big deal. You hide around the corner, you shield to the next corner, you're shielding a little too long, like, ideally, if you want to go from corner to corner, you just go to the corner, then stay on the corner. Or if you want to go into them, you just go into them. But and there is no need for you to hold your shield for this long when your team is either already across or like crossing. Like, if he was hiding, your Genji died because he was in the open, but that's not your fault. Is it in 20? I feel like in 20, yeah. Like, this is not your fault. Your Genji is just standing in the open, right? So, again, don't worry about that. The one thing is, you don't need to stay on the choke for this long, basically. Like, holding your shield here is not really doing a lot. You don't waste a lot of shield, which is fine. I'm glad you just get to the corner. But yeah, let's see how this goes. So you're playing very defensive. Are you just waiting for Genji? If you're just waiting for Genji, it's okay. Decent fire strike. And you're playing very passive. That's a big thing I'm taking from this. Even if you're waiting for Genji, you can trade a little damage with the Rein. Like, you've got Moira, who does more overall healing than Ana. So it's like, you can trade damage with the Reinhardt. You just take a long time to actually get to trading damage. And when you do, you just die. So again, it's very important that, like, staying here for this long is just wasting your team resources. Remember that Moira has a limited healing, right? She does a lot of healing, but it's very limited in the amount of healing she can actually do. Like, the resource is actually already gone. So by the time you go aggressive, your Moira is not able to heal you. She also throws a damage orb, which is not ideal, but like, you can see how she runs out of healing really, really quickly. Trying to keep you alive, and she's trying to get resource back, which is just a big problem. So Chulongon Reed just spent a long time without going in, and because of that, your Moira just healed the rest of your team, which you should probably expect at this rank. Like, at higher ranks, your Moira will try to conserve resources and use the orb or let Mercy just stop people off. But at this rank, just expect people to, be healed. You're being rest, which is pretty solid. Your Genji dies again, which is not your fault. And you revive with full HP, so it's like a really good time to go aggressive. You basically have full health. You purple thumb means you want to back out, yeah. Alright, so overall the big thing I'm saying is that you're playing very passively, which you probably shouldn't. Macristan, at least he used it like very early. Playing passively is bursting down your shield, right? You are losing a lot of your shield very early. And it's causing your Moira to lose resources before we go in, because trading damage from afar just means that your Moira is trying to heal like the Diva, the Soldier, the Genji who are taking damage, and she has no resources left when we engage. So the general idea is just go more aggressive. Like, you're waiting a very long time at this choke. You're respecting the Reinhardt a lot, and you shouldn't. And yeah, they have a lot of damage, but you can get around it. You can go this way if you really want to, right? Try to pressure their backline rather than the front line, so long as your team follows you. You can try to go that way, just shield this way and take the high ground. But like, the point I'm trying to make is, you need to get past this choke somehow. Either run at them, like literally just stop waiting and go at them right away, or go for a flank or take the high ground. You just need to get past the choke. Because staying at the choke for a very long time is not very useful to you. They have better positions because they're already looking at the choke, right? And the fact that you have limited healing in the Moira resource is not great. That said, the one thing you can do is, if you want to just wait until Coalescence is built, you can go in with Coalescence. The problem is that while we're trading damage, they're also building more ultimates than we do. You do finally go for this, but like even this is a very slow rotation, and because you are using your shield, the enemy can actually see you. Like if I go back and look at their Hansa, he knows you're here, but the whole enemy team can probably see you through the wall. Well, not only because of the Hanzo arrow, but also because you try to shield, which just kinda gives you away. Right? Okay. So the biggest, like even goes through the wall at some point. Feels like you are not rotating with your team, which is not exactly your problem. Like your team should be following you, but there's not a lot you can do about that if your team isn't. But the big thing is that you're just spending way too long at the choke. You need to just go in. You can pin the Rein. Like if you're gonna die, something you can do is when they pressure you, right? When they pressure you like that, you can start backing out and then pin in. You're not gonna get away anyway, right? So you might as well try to kill them. And like this shield is not going to block the Rein damage. I was thinking, boys, let's go right the whole time and they ignored me. You were hoping if you moved, you actually follow. Well, that's the thing, right? And I don't expect a lot of people to be in boys at this rank. So, yeah, just stop waiting, stop saying, let's go right, and actually just go right. The problem is that we took so long on the choke that, like, the D.Va lost her mech, Genji's died like 3 times already, Soldier's been dead, Moira has no resources left. We just spent a long time in the choke. So yeah, like, I don't think anyone is going to be in voice chat. Even if they are, they may not listen to you. Just do it. Just literally go in, or go in. Just don't stay on the choke for so long. Anywho, like I said, this shield is not going to block the Rein damage. And you are in a deficiency of resources, like he's got full health, you got low health. So you might as well try to pin him. You're gonna die anyway, you can't get out, you don't have a Lucio to save you either. So you just try to pin him. Because you're gonna die anyway, like there's no escaping this. Like D.Va cannot help you, Mercy is going to be the team, even if Moira tries to come heal you, it's probably not going to be enough, so try to pin the Reinhardt to get some value out of this. Instead you back out with your shield and you just get killed. Res is good. There's a shatter, which... okay. Well, that Rein just wasted his shatter, which is really good, and he's in a very bad position. You could try to go at them. Like, he's a very killable... he's very killable right now. Like, he's broken up from his team. Diana is all the way over there, so she's got no silent when he goes aggressive. Just try to go at this Rein and punish him for overextending, and kill him. That's what this is. Okay, you missed a pin. Unfortunate. Another Rein is back under silence, and okay. So yeah, in that case, just go this way and pressure him. Don't go this way because it's longer, and also just like it gives him time to back out. Meanwhile, if you put pressure from the side when he tries to back out, you can just kill him. Anywho, not a big deal. I feel like the biggest thing thus far is that you're just waiting too long. Good kill from your soldier. Macri to your right, but he doesn't have a stun. Pin the Reinhardt. Pin the Rein. The reason I'm telling you to pin the Reinhardt is Macri has already used the stun. And this Rein is nano. So if he tries to counter pin you, both of you are going to go down on the ground, which is wasting nano time. And if he doesn't, then you just pin him. So again, just try to pin this Reinhardt. Especially because, again, Macri has already used the stun, the flash Rein. Instead, you let the Rein kill your ultimate soldier. Like, it really feels like you're playing very, very, very safe. Just take risks, just go aggressive. Like, pin the Reinhardt, go in. The rest of your team is here, and you're isolated over here with your 1 HP Genji, who is kind of throwing, but no, not your fault. We killed the Hanzo, we killed Diana. If we can't deny the rest, that's a one fight. Like, for sure. Instead, you just respect this Reinhardt too much, and he's literally by himself. He's got no healing. Even though he's nanoed, you can go at him, try to pin him. If he counterpin, he's down on the ground behind your team. And if he doesn't counterpin, you just pin him into your team, because your team is here. It's not like you're pushing and charging him into his team. You're actually charging the Rein into your team, because your team is over here. Instead, he just turns around and kills your soldier. They rest Ana, and now we are even. Like, we are still, like, down Soldier, but they're down Hanzo. And again, you should be going aggressive because trades are good for you. Like, this Soldier is going to be back in like 5 seconds, and this Hanzo is going to have to come back a much longer time. Instead, you're just abandoning your team. They're taking damage because you're not you're not pushing in. I get it. Maybe you really just wanted to go this way, and you were waiting for the team to follow. But at some point, you just gotta go. Like, you're defending way too much. You're playing way too passive, which is resulting in their Reinhardt actually getting a lot of value because he's going aggressive into your team and swinging and doing damage, while you are playing very defensive, which is counteractive because this Rein is putting a lot of pressure in your team, but you are not putting pressure into their team. So you can see that this Reinhardt is basically at 167% of shatter. Right? He's already used one. And you are at 80. He's doubled you. He's basically lapped you in the ultimate charge. Because he's just doing that much more damage, pushing into your team and doing damage, while you are playing very, very passively. And this is like a decent time to go aggressive, but again, I would just have waited for your whole team to be with you. At least a little bit. Your Moira is very important. I feel like you should have gone earlier or later. Because the moment you go is a little awkward in the sense that your team is not ready to go. Like, look when you start pushing, right? Everyone's just eating a 5 strike. Rein's at 80% ult charge now. Even though he's kinda low, he's got an Ana and a Mercy pocketing him basically. And your team is very low. I don't know why your Moira throws a damage orb here instead of a killing orb. But you start basically pushing in. And your Moira is going back. Your D.Va is not ready to go yet. She's being healed. And you get slapped, you get damaged. You're probably going to get shattered again. If your D.Va was with you, she was backing out because she lost a lot of HP and needed healing. If your D.Va was with you, she could have eaten the sleep. Now your team is with you. You go for a shatter play. Lands in the Rein shield. Not very good. Hits the Mercy. Okay, that's very lucky. That's very lucky, but you know, sometimes you get lucky. This is not you. You are number 10. So basically, you try to go in. You get stopped because your team is not quite with you yet. Genji deflects in front of you. Really good from Genji. Just stopping a lot of that damage. And then you go for the shatter. 2 things wrong with the shatter. 2 things. Number 1, the Rein is already holding his shield. You're not being surprising, you're not taking a sleight of angle, you're just shattering into the enemy Reinhardt shield. The second thing is that you jump before shattering. If you jump, then shatter, it takes longer to land the shatter, so it gives the enemy more time to counteract, to react to it. If you just stand still and then shatter, it goes immediately. There's still time to bring the hammer down, but bringing the hammer down from the ground is like a small second, and jumping and then bringing the hammer down creates more time for the enemy to counterplay. Anywho, too long, don't read, don't jump before shattering, and don't jump if the enemy Rein has shatter, because the shatter can go under you. Basically, shield jumping is good, like jumping, shielding in the air to conserve your momentum, etc. But once either Reinhardt has a shield, shatter I mean, you stop jumping, because shatter goes under you and it takes longer to, you know, normal stuff. Anywho, you get very lucky in that the Rein tilts his shield just enough to get the Mercy. It doesn't get anyone else, which is unfortunate, but at least you got one, it's some value. And now you should just go aggressive, because the Mercy is down and you are basically in an advantage. Good kill. Good D.Va bomb. Dodge the dragon. You don't dodge the dragon, you're gonna die to the dragon. You get rest up, which is... And we won this fight, even though, like, again, even though 2 of you died, trading is good for the offense on this point. Because your spawns are much closer, so this should be a winnable fight, even though you were down, basically. 2 people, but they were down 2 people too. Like, you were even in the fight, but being even is good. And then you got rest. And you good cap. Unlucky for your Genji. Good cap though. Decent fire strike. Don't move. Like, one big thing with Reinhardt is that you need to take some space, at least this much, if not more, because taking space is really good. In this case, I don't say more because the enemy team is already here, but you should be moving at least here. Reinhardt's biggest disadvantage is that he's got no range. Like, literally no range. He's a melee character. So you want to be as close to the enemy as possible when you start fighting. If you're here and the enemy is here, you need to do this in front of them. Instead, just go forward and start here, because then you save yourself having to do this. To swing at the Reinhardt, this is okay. 5 strike, 5 strike, 5 strike. You want to use 5 strike basically as often as you can if you're not gonna die. Don't do it now because you're very low. Is there someone behind you? Yeah, there's some crew behind you. Don't do it now because you're very low, but at the beginning of the fight it would have been pretty good. Also, again, like, you should have pinned this Reinhardt right away, because even if you die, if you counter spin you and you die, he's down on the ground for a little bit, and Nano Reinhardt is a very, very big threat, so you want to put him down as fast as possible. Now, well, you could have died there very early. You don't, because he just shields rather than chasing you, but... And he shatters into your shield. Oh my god, you jumped. Don't jump ever. Like, it could have gone under your shield. I don't think it did, but it could have gone under your shield, and there was no one behind you anyway. But don't jump when you're blocking a shatter, because it can go under your shield. A little bit. Okay, you blocked most of the shatter. Now you pin, but you missed the pin. It's still winnable though, like, your Genji got a ton of value. And there's coalescence. Get the Ana, like, this Ana is in a really bad position. I usually say, like, going for the Rein is the logical choice, because their Reinhardt will usually be at the forefront of their team. Reinhardt is the front line. But if someone overextends past the Rein shield, they are a free kill. So rather than going at the Reinhardt, you probably should be going at the Ana. But you just play very defensive and doesn't get a lot of value. You gotta kill this Ana very easily. Don't shatter this. Don't shatter this. Okay, good. Now just kill the D.Va and we move forward. Take space. Again, the same thing, right? You, with help of course, not by yourself, should be moving forward at least to this corner. Why to this corner? Because the enemy team can probably regroup and come out before you push the other corner. But at the very least, that corner should be good for you to go at. Don't shield so much. Like, what are you shielding? There's no one behind you, you have full HP. And here you're moving the payload, but like, you should just be moving forward. Flank shatter, you take the hard one for a flank shatter, which I'm kind of okay with. This will not work at higher ranks. At higher ranks, the enemy will just go like, hey, wait, where the fuck is the Reinhardt? Don't show yourself, like, they can see you right now. They can see you right now, like, if you're going to go for a flank shatter, don't show yourself until you can go for the shatter. Going for it now. Okay, solid. You hit it anyway, like, they even saw you and they did not stop it. So that's how you know that they were just not coordinating the slightest, but... Good, don't pin. Like, it probably works out anyway, because you got a big shatter, and the Ana walks into you. So, you know, you just kill the Ana for free. But the reason you don't want to pin is that here you can 5-strike everything, kill with one swing, kill with one swing. Right? Like I said earlier, Rein is usually your best target, because you've got to go through the Rein to get to the other enemies. But in this case, you can kill the Reaper, like, you can 5-strike. You can move like a step here and 5-strike through the Reaper and the Ana. Crouch if you're gonna do that, like crouching makes hitting people on the ground easier. But you can 5-strike through the Reaper and the Ana, kill the Reaper with one swing, because one swing should kill him. With 85 plus 100 from shatter swing, 5-strike swing. Then you kill the Ana with almost a 5-strike by itself, but then just one swing on top of it. And then you can pin the Rein if you want to, but removing this 2 is better than pinning the Reinhardt, basically. Do you 5-strike? Oh, it gets eaten. That's unfortunate. But still, like, you can kill this Reaper. Like, look at his HP, he's very killable. Instead of charging, which requires a charge up and the pin, just swing once to the Reaper while moving, and then you swing at the Ana, who's very low, and you are just fine. We won the fight anyway, like, very clearly, like, your team followed up pretty well on that. But your shatter wasn't, like, the shatter was pretty solid. Of course, they could see you, so, you know, at higher ranks, they will prevent you from just shattering for free. The idea was solid, like, flank shatter is fine. Like, especially, like, below, like, diamond, people will not stop to think, oh, where is the Reinhardt? If they see you, like, don't show yourself, because if they see you, they'll be like, oh, Reinhardt is over there. But, like, below diamond, object permanency is not a big thing. Like, people forget that the enemy has a Reinhardt, basically. So, decent idea for a shatter, don't show yourself. And for the follow-up, charge is actually the weakest one. Because you can do, like, yeah, charge does, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, 350 damage. Actually, let's double check that. Reinhardt. Let me double check. Yeah, 350. It does. Actually, no, it does 300. Yeah, it does 350 if you scratch them. So it's either or. It doesn't accumulate. So it's 300 or 50, not 350 if you pin them. But 300 damage, right? Do you think 300 damage is a lot? Yeah, it's 50 on hit and 300 on connection. But it doesn't do it on hit if you pin them. If you actually pin them, it does no damage. That's what Chris is saying. It doesn't do damage until you hit the wall, basically. Unless you just bump them. Anywho, that aside, you're doing 300 damage, right? Let's say you do 350 because you bump along someone on the way, like you bump the Ana out. A single swing that hits 2 people is 170. A single fire strike that hits 2 people is 200. So you can do 370 with 1 fire strike and 1 swing. And these can be targeted. The fire strike, the swing, you can target multiple people. You can spread your damage as you see fit, because Shatter itself does 60 damage as well. So it's like, you can kill 2 people very easily if you don't just charge someone in. Don't get me wrong, charging can be the option sometimes, like, if you shatter a single person, right, or, I don't know, if they have Transcendence, or anything like that, or a lot of healing, or Immortality Field. There is some moments where charging is fine, but in general, if their enemies are close enough to you, that you can just swing at them, just go for a fire strike that can hit as many people as possible, and swing. You can even swing, then fire strike, then swing again. If you have to move to set up the fire strike, you can swing while you move, then fire strike, then go aggressive. Anywho, again, not the biggest deal. I think that the biggest deal thus far has just been that you're playing very defensive. We win this fight, we just win this fight. You have basically full HP, full shield, and the enemy is missing 3 people. Go aggressive, kill people. Go hold the choke. You can be here with your Genji. You can help your Genji kill the Reaper. You can go kill the D.Va. You can charge into there that are missing people. Takes you a very long time to even go in, and you wait for your D.Va to go in first. Kill the baby. Just kill the baby. Just kill the baby. The enemy is kind of very close for you to stagger the baby. Like, just kill the baby D.Va. If we let her the other way, she gets remag. She doesn't get staggered. We kill the Reinhardt, which is pretty solid, but Shatter, this is a really good Shatter. Even though they don't have the Reinhardt, it's probably still worth the Shatter. Late now, like if you go at it now, you're probably gonna get just Onion, just shield it instead. Good shield. And do you see how D.Va remagged? Just kill the baby D.Va. Don't try to stagger the baby D.Va. If you got the chance to kill her, just kill the baby D.Va. At this rank, staggering doesn't matter as much, just kill her. I know you'll see it at higher ranks and at Overwatch League, but at this rank, just kill the baby D.Va, don't give her a chance to remake. Very winnable fight though. And don't worry about the payload. Again, it's not your job to worry about the payload. Your job is to be on the front line. And right now, you are not in the front line. Like, the front line is all the way over here. Right? Against the McCree. Someone else like Moira, Mercy, D.Va are really good at moving the payload. You are not. As Reinhardt, you do not move the payload. You need to take space, basically. Because again, if you are just here, the payload will move for free, your team can help you, and the enemy team cannot get through you. That's, again, remember what I said about Reinhardt? Reinhardt is basically an annoyance for the enemy team to get through you, to get to your team. So you should just move forward and hold here, because if the enemy come here, they are just not gonna run through you to try to get your team, because you just cleave them all, shut them, kill them. Right? They're going to try to trade damage with you, you can use a little bit of your shield, your team can heal you up. It's not your job to move the payload. You just missed the fire strike, which is unfortunate, but that McCree is a free kill. Okay, we killed the McCree. Again, I know no one... Hello, Gibraltar. I know no one in your team is moving the payload, but even then, it's still not your job. Tell your team to move the payload, but again, ideally, imagine if you were like here, right? You could be holding all the way up here. Like maybe here, right? And you are stopping them from coming this way for free. You are stopping them from taking space this way. They've got to get through you. That's the big thing, right? Reinhardt, especially without a Lucio, Reinhardt needs to take space. Because otherwise, you don't have the option of just spinning in with a Lucio and trying to kill people. You don't have a Lucio. So you need to take space, prevent them from getting the space for free. If you had a Lucio, you could be like, okay, I play very safe, and when we're going aggressive, we all just jump in right away with Lucio together, which requires coordination that I would not expect at this rank. So mostly you just want to play solo Reinhardt and hold as much spell as possible without going overboard, because yeah, technically you can come like all the way over here and be like, oh hey, if they want to get out of spawn, they gotta get through me, but your team is so far away that your team cannot help you, and they just run over you, right? That's kind of the point. Don't overextend so far that your team cannot help you, but take space. Like your team, if you're here, your team is right there. You can be here with the help of your team, like not in the open, just use the corner for free cover, right? Cover is really good. You've been using cover pretty well. That's the one thing I'll say. You've been using cover pretty well. Use the corner, right? Use the corner. Stop them from coming this way for free. Stop them from coming this way for free. Yeah, they still can go around you, but you are stopping them from getting to your team for free. They've got to go around in a very weird way. And if they go around in a very weird way, well, maybe your Soldier, maybe your Genji can help deal with them. Maybe your D.Va can contest the high ground. So, take space. Just take space. Like, the fact that you've got to do this now. If you take a position the enemy wants, your DPS and healers can use the angles that you allow them to. It's not just that, that's more of a dive concept, but yes, it applies. It's about stopping the enemy from being able to take positions that, well, see your team for free. Right? In this case, if you had me here, you got slept trying to go forward, right? You were like, I need to go forward with the payload, I go forward. But because you were going forward, you had to cross the space in the open, which means the enemy team can shoot you, can sleep you like they just did. Right? You make yourself and your team vulnerable. Because the enemy team can just shoot at you for free and at your team for free while you're moving forward. Instead, if you are here, someone in your team can just move the payload for free. Because if the enemy want to contest your team, they've got to go meet you. Like if they go forward, you take a step, you meet them here and you have to fight here. Your team moves the payload and can still shoot at you, right? Or at the enemy who's on top of you. And it's a lot easier. Keep charge, it can be used as this case if the situation allows. Yes, sometimes, probably not against... Well, they don't have a McCree anymore. I was going to say probably not against Ana McCree. But because they don't have a McCree anymore, probably yes. But the biggest thing is that you are not gonna get caught out of position if you just take one corner. In higher ranks, you'll see teams taking a lot of corners, which is where you need help, right? Like your team may win the point and the Reinhardt will be here or here, right? As the payload is moving forward. because at higher ranks you know that your team is going to move with you. Like someone's going to stay on the payload and you're going to have 5 people here. It's not going to be just you. But at this rank, if you want to move one corner, if the payload is here, you can move to the next corner. Because if you're here on the next corner, your team, even though they're all the way here, they can still see you. Right? So even if you need to back out with your shield, your team can help you. Because you are in your team silence, which is basically this. So long as you don't go out of your team silence and you play mostly safe in cover, you can take the corner basically for free. And you can see where the enemy team is going, right? Where they're positioning, you gain information. If they try to contest you, you can swing, you can back out a little bit as the payload moves forward for free. On the other hand, if the payload is here, right, and you're moving with the payload, the enemy team can move forward, take this corner for free because you are not holding it, and go further forward. So instead of you holding this corner and the payload going all the way here for free, what happens is that you end up having a fight here because the enemy push forward. Right? That's the general idea of taking space. You take space, you stop the enemy from going forward, right? You create space and you allow your team to move the payload for free. On the other hand, if you've got to go forward, usually the way you do this is you have a Lucio, you hide, and then you go aggressive, right? But in this case, you don't have a Lucio, and even if you hide, your team is very unlikely to go full aggressive with you. You don't have a McCree or a Reaper very close, right? So the best idea is just take space. Because space is a big resource. For especially for Reinhardt. Like with Monkey, it's not so much about controlling a lot of space, but controlling certain space. Like Monkey wants to contest the high grounds, so he's got free engagements and safe retreats. Reinhardt doesn't have that. Reinhardt just wants to hold as much space as possible without being caught out, right? So if the payload is here, and you are here, you are technically fine, because the payload is going to move forward a little bit, and your team can see you. And if you need help, you just back out a little bit, and your team can see you. If you go all the way here, then you are probably throwing, because the payload is here, your team cannot see you. But yeah, we've gone over 2 big concepts so far. Thus far. Number 1, be more aggressive, especially in attack, because trading is good. Not on every attack, but attack at first, right? Just be more aggressive, break past the choke. It's okay if you have to take an off angle and go around to take the high ground. Just break past the choke, go aggressive, bait their resources out, and kill them. And secondly, don't worry about moving the payload, just hold the corners in front of them. Another flank shatter, which looks very good. Pretty solid, not the best, you should have probably just stepped off and gone this way rather than this way, but still, pretty solid. And again, you can 5-strike, kill the Ana, and that's basically a 1 fight. Yeah, look at that. Rein and Reaper are killing your team, but it may still be winnable. Not winnable. Unfortunate, but not entirely your fault. The Rein actually dies while going for the shatter. He just managed to get it off. And imagine, again, if you had gone here, you could have shattered the Rein as well, maybe. From here, you just go for this shatter, maybe get, all of this. Maybe the Rein too. So, the shatter could have been better. You almost get the soldier too. Oh, you do get a soldier. The shatter could have been better, the idea is solid, just look where it starts. Instead, let me go back a little bit. Right? Rather than do this and shatter, just do this. Drop and shatter. You can get more people. You also jump again before shattering, which is not very good. You actually lose all of this shatter because you shatter, on the high ground, basically. So you could have gotten all of these too if you were not over here and if you were just here. Too long, don't read. Shatter was still good. Unfortunate that the Rein got the shatter off and it actually got the value. Very unfortunate. If your diva had not been knocked down, she would have eaten all of the Death Blossom and it would have been a winnable fight. Overall, you're not doing bad though. Like the Shadow was good, this is just lost fight. Could definitely have been better though. Don't go in, like you're missing 3 people. Now they have the spawn advantage, so if you trade, it's actually bad for you. You need to win decisive fights, like 5v0. Decisive. 5 strike the soldier, never mind, you don't have to. You have Dio make again. You are going a little aggressive, which is fine. Careful, you're purple, you're probably dead. Shield, the Rein is trying to chase you. And you die. So, this is not too bad. Like, you try to go aggressive. I feel like your shield here just spent time that you shouldn't have. Like, what did you try to shield? The Rein swing? The shield is not great. If you're gonna go aggressive, just go aggressive. Because it basically cost you 1 swing to put your shield out. You could have gotten 2 swings out. Is it a big deal? No, it's not a big deal, but you may as well have. And then you just die. You get rest, you get rest. Pin the Reinhardt, pin the Nana Reinhardt, pin the Nana Reinhardt. Okay, too late now. You blocked the shatter, he really goes for that shatter. And again, can you see how he shattered at the same time than you did? But because you're playing a lot more defensive and he's playing a lot more aggressive, he already has it again. And you're at 60, because you're just holding your shield. What are you shielding? Reinhardt's hammer can go through the shield. You don't need to shield this, just pin the Reinhardt. Like, again, it's usually a decent idea to pin the Nana Reinhardt, because even if he counterspin you, both of you end up on the ground for a few seconds. Not always, like, you don't want to just pin into the backline of his team, because then you're just dying. But if you can pin the Reinhardt over here or over here, out of line of sight of his team, then it's fine. And then you die. So this is a reset. Your Genji is doing okay, but this is still a reset. Okay. So you take the Mega, you play with corners, this is solid, there's a shoulder behind you, just kill him, like, literally just kill him. Good kill. You need healing, but you don't even have to shield. This is how good this position is. You don't even have to shield right now. You can get healed and be in cover without your shield taking any damage. Okay, and look at that. Their Rein had enough time to block the shatter because you jumped. Stop jumping before shattering. You've done it every time. Stop jumping before using your shatter. It gives the enemy more time to react. If you had not jumped, he would not have been able to block it. Like, he literally flashes. The shield's got 100 HP. Look at that. You'll give him literally just enough time because you jumped to block it. If you had not jumped, he would have been shattered. Everyone would have been, well, him and Diana, no one's behind. But you would have gotten the shatter off if you had not jumped. Again, stop jumping before you shatter. And then you go aggressive with very little HP and you die. Don't go aggressive when you are on little HP because you are gonna die, you're a big target, easy to hit. And Reinhardt can swing to your shield. So, mostly I feel like you're playing very defensive overall. And you playing very defensive is costing your team resources. Right? And when you go aggressive, your team is low on those resources, so it's a lot harder to win the fights. Okay, you come back. Okay, pin is okay. You try to get the Reaper as well, which is fine. Your Genji is going, like, your team is going in. Your team is literally going in right now. Diva is in. Freaking Genji is in, that's his name. And instead, you just stay here. Like, you pinned in, just go aggressive after pinning in. No, nuclear Mako is nuclear Mako. This is bronze, yeah. This is mid bronze, it's like 1,000. 1,200, I think? Somewhere around there. So you go for the pin, right? And then you just gotta go aggressive. Instead, you look at you. Instead of going aggressive, you kinda dance around a little bit. You dance around a little bit, right? You're just dancing around a little bit. Your team is going aggressive. 1,100. There you go. Between 1,000 and 1,200, I was spot on. Very passive, right? Your team is literally going in. And you are very, very defensive. You were 765 season 2, that was a shit show. This doesn't look bad. The game has improved a lot over the years. Like, a plat player right now would probably be Masters at least in season 3. Both the Mercy and the Genji on my team are Smurfs? I don't think so. I honestly, like, this is not a Smurf. This is not a Smurf. They're not really Smurfs. They got like 600 levels worth of playtime. Not very likely. Also, the Genji has been feeding a lot. He's been playing in the open and has gotten himself killed like 3 times. Genji is definitely not a Smurf. Genji, that's just the nature of the hero. They're on borrowed accounts. Even then, I doubt it. Like, Mercy I haven't looked at, but this Genji has died 3 times by just standing still in the open. That doesn't scream Smurf to me. Like, he's just playing very badly. I feel like it's just the Genji nature of bearing a the Mercy side Diamond Masters. I haven't been looking at Mercy. Mercy maybe. The Genji hasn't been playing like a high Diamond Low Masters player. Genji has a very like good nature of popping off or just dying, but let's look at this Nano Blade actually. Well, not Nano Blade, just Bulk Blade. So he dashes, blades, in like this is difficult to say. It's a great Genji. Like, he didn't dash up, he dashed straight into the enemy team. In front of the Reinhardt, in front of the Ana who can just slip him. He slashes the Ana and misses the dash. This doesn't look like Master's Genji mechanic. This does not look like a Master's Genji mechanic. He just missed the dash on the Ana who was right next to him. He's, rather than going like behind them, he's staying in the coalescence. He also engaged without deflect, so we could have killed them with nanobites or 2. Doesn't feel like this Genji is a Smurf. The Mercy, maybe. I haven't been looking at the Mercy. But this Genji is not playing like a Master's Genji. Anywho, back to you. Just lost fight, but you've got to touch. Well, you don't have to touch yet. You can just back out and touch at like 3 or 6 seconds left. Are you a Zarya main by chance? Kind of. Like, I have a lot of playtime on Zarya, Diva, and Sigma. And actually also Risa. Because I usually play off-tank. But I've got a lot of playtime on Rein, Winston as well. Because sometimes I need to play main tank. So, I've got a lot of playtimes over all tanks. But mostly just Diva and Sigma and Zarya during goats. Anywho. The big thing, I think, is that you need to go more aggressive. Like, this was a perfect example. Your team was going in. We use Blade, we use Coalescence, we use Visor, we use Valkyrie, and you are here. Right? You are just here waiting, and you went for a flank on the Diva. Just go aggressive, that's it. The biggest advice I can give you is just go aggressive. Let's see how this goes on the defense. Looks like the defense is shorter. You probably either lose this very hard or win this very hard. You're waiting around the corner, which is solid. You probably want to 5-strike them. Like, this is what I mean when I say that you're playing very passive. You should be the one swinging here. Like, you don't have to overexpose yourself, but rather than being there, you can be here and swing. Swing at the corner, swing at the Reinhardt, get some damage in, right? Instead, you're just playing very aggressive. Your team is taking damage. Okay, the Reaper throws. Did he not have Wraith? He used Wraith to engage, so the Reaper is throwing. Good punish. Pin the Reinhardt. You missed the pin, but the idea was good. Again, I'm okay with pinning if you're pinning into your team. Pinning into your team is fine. Pinning away from your team is really bad. Anywho, you won this fight. You killed the Reaper. Rein's coming left. Rein's coming left. Rein's behind you. Punish the Rein. He's a free kill. The Ana is also like, no. She's literally going up the front line. Which is, you know, really good for you and really bad for them. Good kills. Good kills. Kill the baby diva and back off. This is one stage where you can stagger the baby diva if you want. Because she's got no way of killing herself and you can play around the corner. Go help your Zarya. You should have been helping your Zarya. Diva and Nana swapped roles. This Zarya died because you were playing very passive. And you're still playing very passive. Like, you should be swinging at the Reinhardt, like I said earlier. Play on this corner. Swing around the corner. Maybe you think you're swinging the corner, but it's not enough to actually get the enemy team. You should be standing closer to get a little bit more cleave into them. And your Genji dies, and like, if we blade, you should go aggressive to distract the enemy team from the blade. Let's see if you win this with like a big shatter instead. Actually a pretty okay shatter. Unlucky that you didn't get more than the diva. You're getting your shatters caught a lot. In structure. Like, hold on. You're getting your shatters caught in the structure a lot. Like, look at this. Right? Like, it doesn't create a big shatter motion. Because you are getting them caught in the structure a lot. You need to go a little bit more in the open. So it gets the cone going. Also happened on the last shatter, flank shatter on the attack, right? You only get one person. It would have been really, really good if you had taken one more step into the open. Could have gotten the ulting Moira, the Ana, the Reinhardt. Just take a little step into the open so it doesn't get caught into the map as much. And then you die, okay. We just lose the point at this point, we just reset. You just try to 5-strike to the window even though it was aimed at the ceiling. Don't prioritize 5-striking to the window if you cannot get anyone. Hitting people with a 5-strike, that's 100 damage. Doing 200 damage to the wall is not going to kill anyone. Kill the baby diva though, yeah. Kill the Reaper. Okay, solid, you can kill him. 5-strike, 5-strike. Did you miss him? He was so close. Okay, it doesn't matter. Oh, maybe you don't miss him? You do miss him. Good attempt. You missed the pin, which is unfortunate. You see Reaper teleporting behind you. I would probably assume he's got Blossom. You should be careful. You should be careful. Reaper's going to go for a Death Blossom behind you. Okay, your team forced him out, which is solid. Decent 5-strike, you get shattered. But this is not too bad. Like, this shatter is actually not too bad. Even though it got 3 people, no one in the enemy team is actually in position to follow up. Right? This is not a great shatter. Like, the big thing is, of course, Reaper teleporting, but he's got to complete the teleport and drop. Then he's gonna press Q. The enemy team is going to go aggressive. So, yeah, by the time the Reaper is teleporting, you are already up. How did you assume he had Blossom from teleport? It's already been like 2.5 minutes. And he's teleported to the high ground. So my assumption is I saw him teleporting in front of me. I'm like, Reaper's going for a flight. Like, it's been like, hold on, let's go back to when he actually teleports. Blah, blah, blah. So it's been 2 minutes, right? Then you go forward. And here you see Reaper teleporting above you. Right? He's teleporting, I think, to this. Trying to get above. Maybe just going for this. But I basically see Reaper teleporting. And my assumption was Reaper is probably trying to teleport up here to drop behind us with Q. He didn't. He actually went somewhere else. He actually went somewhere completely different. But my assumption was Reaper is trying to teleport behind us to get a Death Blossom. He's trying to get around to the Death Blossom instead, but he gets chased out because he doesn't actually teleport good. Alright, he tries to go in and gets chased out by the Genji. So, anywho, yeah, this Shatter, even though it got 3 people, it's not gonna get value. No one's gonna die from this Shatter. Your Baptiste also has a good lamp. But no one is going to die. Like, they pop Visor, but the soldier's over there and you're already back up. Don't go over aggressive. You need to block the soldier ultimate. You need to block the soldier ultimate. You need to avoid death and you need to block the soldier ultimate. Block the soldier ultimate. He's not shooting? Where's the soldier? What the fuck? I'm sorry, but this soldier popped Visor and did not go. I thought he was coming this way, which is why I was like, don't go that way, block the soldier Visor. I think he just... Oh wait, your soldier... I'm a silly dumb man. Your soldier pop Visor, not theirs. That's on me, I didn't realize. I saw the soldier running forward and I was like, oh, they call Shatter, so they're gonna Visor. That's on me. Yeah, that's your shot. That's your Visor. Because I was in third person, I heard the aggressive voice line. So I assumed that it was their soldier. The Reaper goes for the flank, like, literally what he did in the end. Just teleported to the high ground, dropped behind us with Blossom. Literally what he did in the end. Just teleported behind us, got for Death Blossom. Bird for Death Blossom. And we just lose. Okay. We're just decent fire strike, we're moving forward. Holding the corner. I really like that you are good on holding your corners. You are not overextending into the enemy. Good fire strike. Don't shield. Just swing at the Reaper. He's already taken a lot of damage from your fire strike. So they're T-pose. Just swing at him. Try to kill him. You could have maybe killed him even. Now you go aggressive, which I'm okay with. You can... I was gonna say, you can Shatter here. Big Shatter. Look at that! You did not jump and you got everyone. Well, you got 3 people, but it's good enough. Fire strike first! Always, like... Using Fire Strike to Shatter is really good. Because people cannot move. You can line up like 3 people with your Fire Strike. This case, immediately just Fire Strike, you can get like, look, Rein, Ana, and Diva with a single Fire Strike. This way, Diva cannot eat it, she's on the ground. You can do 100 damage to 3 people, get them very low, then swing at 3 people, you can kill the Ana. Remember what I said, 100 plus 85 plus 50 from the Shatter is 235, which will kill basically any squishy hero. If you just had Fire Strike, you could have killed the Ana faster. With Trance anyway, you die because Trance is far away, but it's still winnable. Please don't tell me we die. We died to the Diva bomb? Maybe not winnable? We have Grab Blade anyway, we should win that fight. Regroup, play the corner, decent Fire Strike, play the corner. Stop using your shield so early. You're kinda going in. Careful because the Rein is close to Shatter. Hide from that. You just missed them, which is very unfortunate. Do we grab Blade? Grab Blade. We should probably win with Grab Blade, maybe. No, actually probably not. Mostly because we don't have Nano or Valkyrie anymore for the grab blade. He only gets 1 kill, 2 kills, 3 kills. Actually, maybe yes. So you missed a pin, which is very unfortunate. You were obviously going for the soldier. Do I like this pin? I don't love this pin. Like, you should have just turned around and shielded the soldier. Instead, he just gets to roam around for free while you recover from the charge. I get the idea. The idea is soldier behind me, I charge the soldier. Just didn't work out great. And the Genji did get 3 kills, which is pretty solid. Like, grab blade is pretty good. They just didn't focus him hard enough. You know, one fight. Let's continue. Now we have an Ana for the Genji, which is also pretty solid. Decent fire strike, actually. You force the lamp out. Again, if you're going to go aggressive, the biggest thing to go aggressive is don't break line of sight with your team. That's the one thing I want to take away from this. You can go aggressive, you can hold your corners so long as your team can help you. It's fine to go aggressive into them if your team can help you. In this case, your Sari and your Genji can help you, but I think your Ana is just a little bit too far, and when you go around the corner like you did at the very beginning, she's gonna have a hard time healing you, right? Like right there, you go around for a second and she can't heal you, and you die for it. You actually go for the Shadow and miss, which is unfortunate. But we win this fight. You did get a lot of value. You just broke line of sight with your team, which is the biggest problem there. But you went aggressive and you won the fight. Like, everyone was very low, and we just cleaned up after you. Holding corners is solid. You go to the next corner, which is still fine. Like, this is the next corner, yeah. You play a little safe, which I'm okay with, because you are just waiting for your team to go aggressive with ultimates. This time we pop trans. Really good ante, actually, from your Ana. You pressure the Reinhardt, you kill the Reinhardt, okay, solid. You are getting a lot of value when you actually go aggressive. Like, you went aggressive last fight, you went aggressive this fight. You need to find that perfect balance of going aggressive and defensive, but right now going aggressive is, when you go aggressive, it's getting you more value than just playing passive. Unlucky that you didn't get to kill him, but this should still be winnable. Shield, okay. Killing the baby diva is fine so long as you shield your team. In this case you did. Like, your Genji and your Rein were just out of your line of sight. Wait, how does your Ana die here? Oh no, she goes out instead of in! She goes out instead of in. Your Genji's dead. Your Genji's just trying to get out, but he's dead. But your Ana dies because she went out instead of behind you. Oh, that's so unlucky. Like, the Genji, yeah, your Genji was just dead, but the Ana just got so unlucky. Good luck. Like, you did your job. You killed the baby diva and you shield. Like, it is a lot more important to shield the bomb than to kill the baby diva, because if you get one swing on the baby diva and then you shield, then she's got to remake, and you can kill her while she remakes. So you don't have to kill baby diva before the bomb explodes. It is more important to block the bomb, then you can turn around and kill the baby diva. Oh no, do we actually lose this? We have nano blade, so I hope not. Looks like no. Really good gear from your soldier. You go aggressive into the Reinhardt. Force Emo out. This is fine. You can shatter them too. It's last fight, so you can just use your ultimates. That's fine. And we win. Nice. Solid. So yeah, overall the biggest takeaways is, one, you need to go a little more aggressive. Don't forget about your corners. Like, your corner holding is pretty good. You should still do that, but you need to be a little bit more aggressive in general. And two, I forgot what I was telling you, but aggressive with corners. That was actually a pretty good game. Mostly I just want you to go more aggressive. I think that's the biggest takeaway. Oh yeah, I'm playing in silence of your team, which includes going forward to hold corners. That's what I was doing. But because we are on defense, I forgot about defense. You don't go forward in defense to hold corners. So yeah, number one, you need to go a little more aggressive. But number 2, you can hold corners so long as you are in your team's sideline. You can go aggressive so long as your team can see you and help you. Right? Those are the big things. Oh, and stop jump shattering, but that's more of a mechanic thing. It's not a general macro concept. Just stop jump shattering because it's just not very good. It actually got you blocked once because you jump shatter. Anywho, I'll take a 3-minute break and then I'll be back with Gibraltar, chat. I'll be right back.